Have you ever woken up feeling more tired than when you went to bed? Or maybe you've had a restless night where sleep just seemed to slip through your fingers. If you're over 70, you're not alone. Sleep changes as we age, and sometimes those changes can have a bigger impact on our health than we realize. In fact, I recently heard a story about a 71-year-old man who passed away in his sleep. While it's a sobering reminder of how fragile life can be, it also got me thinking about the habits we have before bed. Habits that might seem harmless but could actually be affecting our health in ways we don't even realize. That's why today, we're going to talk about 4 bedtime habits you should avoid after 70. These are things that might seem small, but over time, they can add up and have a real impact on your quality of life, and even your longevity. The good news? They're all within your control, and with a few simple changes, you can set yourself up for better sleep, better health, and more energy to enjoy the things you love. Let's start with the first habit: eating heavy meals right before bed. Now, I know how tempting it can be to have a big dinner or even a late-night snack. Maybe you've had a long day, and you just want to relax with a comforting meal. But here's the thing. When you eat a heavy meal close to bedtime, your body has to work overtime to digest it. This can lead to discomfort, indigestion, and even acid reflux, which can make it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. And if you're dealing with heartburn, you might find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, feeling anything but rested. Instead, try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. If you're feeling hungry later in the evening, opt for something light and easy to digest, like a small piece of fruit or a handful of nuts. This gives your body time to process the food before you lie down, so you can drift off to sleep more easily. Now, let's move on to the second habit: drinking caffeine or alcohol too close to bedtime. I know. This one might sting a little, especially if you're someone who enjoys a cup of coffee in the afternoon or a glass of wine with dinner. But here's the thing. Both caffeine and alcohol can interfere with your sleep in ways you might not expect. Caffeine, as you probably know, is a stimulant. It can stay in your system for hours, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing the quality of your sleep overall. And while alcohol might make you feel drowsy at first, it can actually disrupt your sleep cycle later in the night, leading to more frequent awakenings and less restorative sleep. If you're someone who enjoys a cup of coffee or a tea, try to have your last caffeinated drink by mid-afternoon. And if you do enjoy a glass of wine or a cocktail, aim to have it earlier in the evening, so your body has time to process it before you hit the hay. Small changes like these can make a big difference in how well you sleep and how you feel the next day. Now that we've covered these first 2 habits, let's talk about something that might surprise you: using electronic devices before bed. I know, it's hard to imagine winding down without checking your phone or watching a little TV. But here's the thing. The blue light emitted by screens can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep. This can make it harder to fall asleep and can even affect the quality of your sleep once you do drift off. If you're someone who likes to unwind with a show or scroll through your phone before bed, try to give yourself at least 30 minutes to an hour of screen-free time before you hit the pillow. Instead, consider reading a book, listening to calming music, or practicing a relaxation technique like deep breathing or gentle stretching. These activities can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep. So, there you have it. 3 bedtime habits to avoid after 70. By making small changes to your evening routine, you can set yourself up for better sleep and better health. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making choices that support your well-being. In the next part, we'll dive into the fourth habit and explore some additional tips to help you get the restful sleep you deserve. Until then, take care of yourself, and here's to a good night's sleep. Now that we've talked about avoiding heavy meals, cutting back on caffeine and alcohol, and limiting screen time before bed, let's move on to the fourth habit you should avoid after 70: going to bed at inconsistent times. This one might seem a little less obvious, but it's just as important as the others. You see, our bodies thrive on routine, especially when it comes to sleep. When you go to bed and wake up at different times every day, it can throw off your internal clock, also known as your circadian rhythm. This can make it harder to fall asleep at night and leave you feeling groggy and out of sorts during the day. Think about it. When you were younger, you probably had a more structured schedule. Maybe you had to wake up early for work or to get the kids off to school. But as we get older, it's easy to let those routines slip. Maybe you stay up late watching TV one night, then try to catch up by going to bed early the next. Or perhaps you nap during the day, which can make it harder to fall asleep at night. While it's tempting to think of retirement as a time to let go of schedules, maintaining a consistent sleep routine can actually be one of the best things you can do for your health. So what can you do? Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I know it's not always easy, especially if you've gotten into the habit of staying up late or sleeping in. But even small adjustments can make a big difference. If you find yourself struggling to fall asleep at your desired bedtime, try creating a calming bedtime routine to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. This could include things like taking a warm bath, reading a book, or practicing some gentle stretches. Over time, these habits can help reinforce your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Now, let's talk about another important factor that can affect your sleep as you age: your sleeping environment. This might not be a habit per se, but it's something that's often overlooked, and it can have a big impact on the quality of your sleep. Think about your bedroom for a moment. Is it a peaceful, relaxing space? Or is it cluttered, noisy, or too bright? These things might seem small, but they can make a big difference in how well you sleep. Start by looking at your mattress and pillows. If your mattress is old or uncomfortable, it might be time to invest in a new one. The same goes for your pillows. They should support your neck and head in a way that feels comfortable and natural. Next, consider the temperature of your room. Most people sleep best in a cool, comfortable environment, so aim for a temperature between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're someone who gets cold easily, try using warm blankets rather than turning up the heat. Light and noise can also play a role in how well you sleep. If your room is too bright, consider using blackout curtains or an eye mask to block out light. And if noise is an issue, try using a white noise machine or a fan to create a soothing background sound. These small changes can help create an environment that's conducive to restful sleep, so you can wake up feeling energized and ready to take on the day. Finally, let's talk about stress and how it can affect your sleep. As we get older, it's not uncommon to have more on our minds, whether it's worries about health, finances, or family. And while it's normal to have concerns from time to time, chronic stress can take a toll on your sleep. When you're stressed, your body produces cortisol, a hormone that can keep you awake and make it harder to relax. Over time, this can lead to a cycle of poor sleep and increased stress, which can have a negative impact on your overall health. So, what can you do to manage stress and improve your sleep? One of the most effective strategies is to practice relaxation techniques before bed. This could include things like deep breathing, meditation, or gentle yoga. These practices can help calm your mind and relax your body, making it easier to fall asleep. Another helpful strategy is to write down your worries before bed. Sometimes, just getting your thoughts out on paper can help you feel more at ease and less overwhelmed. It's also important to remember that you don't have to face stress alone. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to reach out to a friend, family member, or even a professional for support. Talking about your concerns can help you gain perspective and find solutions, which can make it easier to relax and get the rest you need. By now, you've probably noticed a common theme. Small changes can make a big difference when it comes to your sleep and overall health. Whether it's avoiding heavy meals, cutting back on caffeine, creating a calming bedtime routine, or managing stress, these habits can help you sleep better and feel better. And the best part? You don't have to do everything all at once. Start with 1 or 2 changes and build from there. Over time, these small steps can add up to big improvements in your quality of life. In the next part, we'll wrap things up by exploring one final habit to avoid and sharing some additional tips to help you get the restful sleep you deserve. Until then, take a moment to think about which of these habits might be affecting your sleep, and consider making a small change tonight. After all, a good night's sleep is one of the best gifts you can give yourself, and it's never too late to start. Now that we've explored the importance of avoiding heavy meals, cutting back on caffeine and alcohol, limiting screen time, staying active during the day, and being mindful of napping, let's wrap things up with one final habit to avoid after 70: neglecting your mental and emotional well-being. This might not seem directly related to sleep at first, but the truth is, your mind and body are deeply connected. Stress, anxiety, and unresolved emotions can all creep into your thoughts at night, making it harder to relax and fall asleep. And if you've ever found yourself lying awake, replaying the day's events, or worrying about tomorrow, you know exactly what I mean. One of the most powerful ways to support your mental and emotional health is to create a bedtime routine that helps you unwind and let go of the day. This could include journaling, where you jot down your thoughts, worries, or even things you're grateful for. Writing can be incredibly therapeutic. It helps you process your emotions and clear your mind before bed. If journaling isn't your thing, consider practicing mindfulness or meditation. Even just a few minutes of deep breathing or focusing on the present moment can help calm your mind and prepare you for sleep. Another important aspect of mental well-being is staying connected with others. Loneliness and isolation can take a toll on your mental health, which in turn can affect your sleep. If you're feeling disconnected, make an effort to reach out to friends, family, or even join a community group or club. Social interaction, whether in person or over the phone, can lift your spirits and give you a sense of belonging. And if you're struggling with deeper emotional challenges, don't hesitate to seek support from a counselor or therapist. Taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health, and it can make a world of difference in how well you sleep. Now, let's take a moment to recap what we've covered. We've talked about avoiding heavy meals before bed, cutting back on caffeine and alcohol, limiting screen time, staying active during the day, being mindful of napping, and prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being. These habits might seem small on their own, but together, they can have a profound impact on your sleep quality and overall health. The key is to approach these changes with patience and kindness toward yourself. You don't have to overhaul your entire routine overnight. Start with 1 or 2 adjustments and build from there. Remember, sleep is one of the most important pillars of health, especially as we age. It's during sleep that our bodies repair and recharge, our minds process the day's events, and our immune systems strengthen. By making a few thoughtful changes to your bedtime habits, you're not just improving your sleep, you're investing in your long-term well-being, and that's something worth prioritizing. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these tips? Do you have a bedtime routine that works well for you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing from you and learning what works for others. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on living your best life after 70. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. Small changes can lead to big results. You don't have to do everything perfectly, and you don't have to do it all at once. Just take it one step at a time, and remember that every positive choice you make is a step toward better sleep, better health, and a happier, more vibrant life. Here's to restful nights, energized days, and living your best life at any age. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.